So guys, the other day I was browsing through Twitch. If you don't know, it's just this live streaming platform, mostly for gaming, I was gonna say Minecraft, but not mostly Minecraft. Like League of Legends, Fortnite, IRL streams, just people, reacting to stuff, stuff like that, just chatting. And I came across something that's, it's the whole purpose behind the video today, where I don't even know where I was there, just kind of bored going through it. And I saw the slot section, so gambling, had the most viewers, and it had, I think, one of the most popular streamers was there, XQC, 100,000 viewers live, and it was just him spinning slots. Now, I know maybe a bit weird, where the fuck is this video going, but to me it was very interesting but very disturbing as well, because on Twitch most people are, a lot of them are below 18, others are like 18 to 25, so very young. And in these, or at these ages, 18 to 25, very young, if you're below as well, you're more likely to be impressionable. You're more likely to see something that doesn't often happen, but then you see it happen and you think, oh, this is gonna happen to me, slots being the case. And I just want to show you here a few examples before I get into my main problem with this, where I want to go, and just show you what I'm talking about. So the first clip we have here, let me mute this so it's not loud as hell. So it's just reacting, as you can see, to Trainwrecks TV win 720,000 in slot machine Buffalo. And I'm gonna, here it is. So he's just spinning the slot, and then all of a sudden, he hits this big one, and as you can see, that's in the thousands right there, so a lot. And that goes, as the title says, to 720. And you see it, like, I can imagine, let's imagine I'm like 16 or 17, I go into one of these streams, which even though they block to be like 18 and above, no one respects these filters, it is expected. And you go here and you see this, what is the first impulse you're gonna have? Even if you're not someone who never did it, or you're just seeing it, your first instinct is going to be, oh, I want to go and gamble. And so my first problem I have with all this is, but that's not the main thing, but it's just these people, which are sponsored by these casinos and are getting, refills, they're getting money, they're getting paid for this, gambling this money and showing this to these people. But more dangerous, and this is what I want to touch on, because you can't control if they're going to stream this or not. You can control if you watch or not, but you may end up on one of these things. What I want to talk about more is the dangers of addictions, and specifically addictions that may not seem too obvious at the beginning. Because if we're talking about, let's say, some sort of drug, hard drugs that you've heard things, you've seen people ruined by them, it's much easier to say, no, I don't want to do this. I know what the dangers are. If we're talking about, I don't know, like heroin or something like that, and I feel like for a lot of people, there's a repulsion towards it right away. You don't see heroin like, oh, let me try that. Because you've heard the stories, you maybe have seen some addicts to this and the dangers it has done on them. Now, nowadays, especially, not only with gambling, but if we look at social media as well, not saying they're the same or they have the same consequences, but they're both things that are very addicting, very easy to get addicted to without realizing, and not necessarily seeming like we must feel bad about being addicted to them, or that we must feel like this is something to deal with, because all the marketing, you could say, all the, the promotion around it is very fun. It's very, oh, come and have some fun, spend some money on the slot machines, TikTok, just post some silly videos and maybe some people will find entertaining. That's what's like on the front, and that's what you see on the first step. But the more you dive deeper, or the deeper you dive into it, the more you realize it's not just that. Now, with social media, there's plenty of examples of, how this is affecting, especially younger generations, of, anxiety rising, depression rising, and overall a feeling of inadequacy in general, which can a lot of times come from there. But looking more specifically at this, and if you're seeing this video, maybe you've seen some gambling videos going around, stuff like this. Maybe you've put some 10 euros, 100 euros, dollars for you Americans, on these websites. Maybe you've had some luck, maybe you failed, but I'm sure you've encountered some form of this. And what I want to leave you with is be aware of these things that are not necessarily so apparent at the beginning. And I say this as someone who does it occasionally, who gambles, and it's fun. These things, the problem with them is that they are fun, especially if you're with friends. You hit something, you win some things, or you win something. Can be one of the most fun things to do. The problem is, and I bring here a quote that I want to share with you by Marcus Aurelius, and the quote goes, "Pleasures, when they go beyond a certain limit, are but punishments." And this is the problem with all, things that can become an addiction. More things that are, not substance-like, because it's much more easy, like I said, to notice. But in these things, we have to understand that, yes, they're fun. Yes, we can get a lot of pleasure from them, but not to be distracted that, as the quote says, if we go beyond a certain limit, we're going to be but punishing ourselves. Like the casino, they're promoting you, funnily spinning slots, but they're not showing you the guy that's just spinning $100 per spin and just lost $100,000. That they're not showing you. And if you're not careful, that can become you faster than you realize it. And I want to show you here as well. And I have here the clip from, I believe it's from the same streamer that you see here, The Win, where, he starts, I believe, with like 50K or something like that. And he just loses that in like less than an hour, just spinning. Because you may win sometimes, but over the long term, this is made for you to lose. But above just the gambling itself, and what I really wanted to talk about today is, to be careful with pleasures. Because, if we don't control ourselves in this regard, whatever the pleasure is, whether that's, foods that we know are not so good for us, whether that's gambling, whether that's, playing video games, whatever it may be, we can cross a line where we're just hurting ourselves. And I say this obviously as a person who indulges in some of these things occasionally, as we all do. And above like me just trying to lecture anyone here, like I have the right to do that, is just sharing with you, but also to me, like as a warning to be careful. And when we're doing these things, to have fun and to, at least enjoy them while we're doing them, but to recognize that we need to keep ourselves in check. Otherwise, we may cross this line that, we don't really want to cross. Now, let me just show you here. I believe it was this clip. And yeah, it's scary. Like when you're looking at this, it's absolutely scary. So I'm just gonna do like a little fast forward. So it's a 2-hour stream, but so it starts here, and you see 70K. Then if we go up a bit more, it's now at 12K already. Then 7K. Then maybe I guess he had to redeposit, I believe, or maybe it's just changed the account, and even you see here, maybe he won quite a little bit, but the more you zoom in, or not zoom in, the more you go forward, inevitably it all goes away, and it's quite sad. It was 170, it's 100K, and yeah, let me just see if I was right and I didn't pick the wrong clip. That would suck. Yeah, but you see, and they tell you this, and this is so similar to me to the how do you call them, the tobacco cigarettes, where you see in the package, this kills, don't do this, yada yada, but then people don't care because it's just it's stronger than them. And so be careful out there.